welcome to the Monkees podcast, episode 4, with our co-host, everybody's co-host, Lee Quick.
I belong to the world.
Yes. Thank you for being here.
Thanks for having me.
All right, if you listened to the last episode, you know that Lee is a fantastic musician and a funny person and a good friend, and that is why she is here.
Aw, bless your pea-picking heart.
Don't check out them one ads. All right. So today we are going to not listen. We're going to watch. We'll listen to it as well.
I plan to do both.
Okay, thank you. Your Friendly Neighborhood Kidnappers, episode 4. Written by Dave Evans. Directed by James Frawley. Yeah?
Any relation to William Frawley?
I do not know. Wait, William Frawley, is that like they might be giants again?
No, that's the guy from I Love Lucy.
Oh, I don't.
Fred.
Right?
Oh. If I'm wrong,
I have no idea.
The internet will embarrass me.
Yeah.
Never mind.
All 2 of those listeners coming after you. All right. So when the Monkees become finalists in a band contest, they are subject to some competitive sabotage.
Uh-oh. What will happen?
All right. So do you remember this episode at all?
No.
I do.
Okay.
I remember all of them.
I'm going to be surprised. No spoilers.
No spoilers. I think I like this episode. I think I have fond memories of this episode. Yeah, I think that's it.
Sounds like.
Sometimes I talk a lot at the beginning. Sometimes I have nothing to say because I just want to watch the episode.
Let's just get into it.
Yeah, let's do it. Let's watch. And we're back from whatever the thing was called. I just wrote The Four Swine. I was so excited that The Four Swine.
Something about kidnapping.
Yeah, that's it. Your Friendly Neighborhood Kidnappers. That's what it's called. I wish the episode was called The Four Swine because that's
those guys.
Exciting.
Wow.
I love The Four Swine.
Well, that's what, so the minute, it's one of the first things you see is this, it's a band competition.
Right.
And of course you have a band and in every band, of course, everyone's dressed alike.
As you do.
They're all of a type because that's what bands were.
Oh,
they were one thing and they all wore the same thing and had the same haircut because that's where we are in history right now. And I saw them and I thought, okay, what are they supposed to be? Longshoremen? They're all smoking. They're all like Brando out of, on the waterfront. Something like that. And it turns out they're called the Four Swine.
The Four Swine. But you know what? Underneath that seedy exterior, I bet they're 4 pretty nice
Heart of
guys.
gold.
Yeah. Anyway, that's what Peter says about them. And they come. I love that their music has nothing to do with any instruments that they have or what they're doing on stage.
Of course.
Just posing with guitars. The lead singer goes, yeah, to end the first song, ends their song. They come off stage, make fun of the Monkees, hand them a banana. They're very mean gentlemen.
Because they're anti-monkey. Right?
Oh, yeah.
They're the anti-monkey. Yeah.
The swine. Opposite of monkey is swine.
Okay.
And then the Monkees go on stage for the band competition and their promoter, is that the promoter of the swine?
I wrote down manager.
That's what
I wasn't sure what he was supposed to be. I thought I wrote Hollywood ? He's not really a Hollywood manager. It's more like a New York kind of manager.
He's a New York
and
guy.
His name is, delightfully enough, Trump.
So
Mr.
delightful.
Trump. And he's not exactly evil, but
he's not good.
He's not good.
He's your villain.
He kind of is,
he's
isn't
definitely your villain for the episode.
Yeah, he's trying to devise ways of getting them famous, which involved getting their clothes ripped off.
Yes.
And when that doesn't work out, they rip off the wrong
guy's
Lester Crab clothes. He's trying. He's working for him.
But he's not. He's really the manager of the Four Swine.
That's true.
He's not really working for them. This is all devious plan. After they sabotaged their audition with, was it Beethoven? What did they play?
They accidentally played for, of course, the piece of music, go-to classical music, Beethoven's Fifth Symphony.
Yeah.
And they're like, is this one of our songs or whatever their joke?
How we practice.
Yeah. I wrote down something. I'm not sure when it happened, but it's the first thing I wrote down after the longshoreman. There's a Mickey does a Groucho.
Yes.
Does that happen more than once, or is that a unique thing?
With the full face, with the full stash, I don't think it happens.
The whole thing,
again.
The cigar, the stash, the glasses, everything.
Yeah.
And he makes a questionable pygmy joke.
Right. So yeah, when the Trump guy shows up to be their promoter, He says they want to
want to appeal to a small minority. Oh boy!
And then here comes
it's
Mickey.
like the African pygmies, right?
Yeah.
Am I right? And you're like, oh boy! Not only is that not funny, but it's of questionable
that joke
taste.
Comes back later in a future episode.
Oh no! Okay,
yes.
all right. Oh well, we'll forgive him. We'll forgive him a little.
I get, yeah. You know, I mean, it could have been worse. I don't know.
Yeah, definitely could have been a lot worse.
Right. So, and then, they get their clothes. They go to the Vincent Van Gogh,
of course,
the neighborhood club, to get their clothes ripped off. And the girls go to the wrong table. They rip off Lester Crab.
Happens all the time.
Yeah, it's constant clothes ripping off in Hollywood, always. So then they set up. Oh no, this episode is full of it. To get their hands in cement in front of the Chinese theater, and guess what? It's just a Chinese theater, people. It's a Chinese theater
with Chinese children
with two
standing out front.
Kids standing out front.
Oh boy!
Now I do kind of like the little boy though, because when the boys, then the Monkees can't sign any of the autograph.
It's of course quick drying cement, which happens all the time in cartoons.
Right. And anyway, yeah. So
they can't sign the autograph book, so the kid hits him on the head with it and walks off.
Walks away. I like that kid.
Yeah.
And so then they're back at the pad, and Nick Trump is angry at them for I don't know why.
For screwing up his evil plan, I guess.
It's working perfectly. Why are you mad, Mr. Trump?
Because he has to be mad at something.
Yeah.
The mugging is a little off the scale in this episode, whereas in the last one, it really seemed comedically appropriate.
Yes.
Nice comedic acting, but it really kind of crosses the line into over-mugging. So at several points during this episode, there's some extreme facial expressions.
Yeah, there's a lot
There's
happening.
some clowning going on.
There's a lot.
Now, and I wrote down, I don't know when this happens, but there's, for some reason, they all have space helmets on.
Oh, this is when they're waiting for the girls to come rip Davey's clothes off, and because they know there's
a countdown.
They're counting down.
I get it. So I was like, wait, why do they all have space helmets on? They'd have obviously been spray painted silver. They're obviously like plastic or just kind of made,
right.
And they've been spray painted silver. And then there's some rocket footage. I'm like, wow, build up to the moon. This is like the early Apollo missions, and
exactly the space.
There's a countdown. There's our Houston. We got, whatever.
And
so
Mike's wool hat is spread over his helmet, which is so good.
Of course.
I love that. Yeah, it's funny because it's like show a count. But at the time, I'm sure it was very exciting to see them in space helmets because I guess space. It was new. It was new and exciting.
Every kid wanted to be an astronaut back then.
Now we're like space.
Yeah, whatever.
Jaded. So his new plan is to get kidnapped before the contest.
Sure, because that'll make him famous.
All right, they'll be in all the papers.
Right. You know how
for
it is.
Being kidnapped.
Yeah.
So this is this before the symbionese
Patricia Hearst?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, way before, yeah.
That's kind of weird.
Yeah, kidnapping's not so funny really when you think about it. But
yeah,
I guess it hadn't happened since the Lindbergh baby, so I guess everybody was over it.
Yeah, I guess so. It's weird to think about that,
and they're grown men, so it's not really kidnapping. But it seems to be kidnapping was there's certain themes or tropes for 60s TV comedies.
Yeah,
and I'm speaking as an expert. Yeah, because I watched every episode of everything that was on when I was a child in the 70s, so I have this perspective on it. But it just seems like you constantly heard about kidnapping was part of the plots of things that just don't happen, like quicksand,
Yes.
And people getting hit on the head and losing their memory.
All the things that made up my playtime as a child.
Right.
Pretending to get caught in quicksand and then running away from imaginary kidnappers.
Sudden extreme amnesia happened a lot.
Coconuts.
Just
always coconuts causing
there are these certain tropes that just keep getting played I'm not accusing the writers of just churning out hack comedy material, but I am kind of in this case because it seemed a little hacky.
Yeah, really strange. What's funny is it makes the clothes ripping off and the hands in cement thing seem perfectly logical.
Sure.
Yeah, that makes sense. and now kidnapping.
If it's fodder for comedy, I'll buy anything. But if the jokes are maybe not that strong, then, oh well.
Yeah.
I really appreciate it, and I wrote down, I love the decoration, the set decoration in there, the monkey pad.
Oh, the pad, yeah.
There's fun non sequitur just type stuff on the walls, like, Denver Department of whatever.
Corrections or something.
Yeah.
What was that? No, it was Chamber of Commerce.
Right. So there's irreverent signs on the wall.
Yes.
But there's also a very prominent sign or framed, I don't know, cross stitch or something that says quite clearly, money is the root of all evil.
Yes.
I really like that one. I like and appreciate that one. It's like they have a moral center.
Yeah. And it's shown a lot.
Yeah.
It's like, kids, come on, get out of the whole capitalism game.
It's the hippie thing where, we're not in it for the fame, you guys. We're not Trump, Mr. Trump.
I know.
We're not just in it for the fame and the money and the girls. We're sincere and, we're artists.
The love.
Exactly. It's all about the love, guys.
Coming to your town. That money is the root of all evil.
And of course, Mr. Trump brings in some questionable Italian mobster stereotypes.
Vic Tayback, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow, is that
Mr.
who that
Vic
is?
Tayback.
Wow.
Yes. That is, was he Mel?
I thought I recognized him.
From, what was the name of that show?
Alice.
Alice, yes. Yeah, that's Mel.
Wow.
Yeah. I love him so much.
Well, now, is there the Trump manager guy? Is he somebody?
I don't know. Not that I know of.
Seems familiar, but
could be. I mean, I'm sure everybody is somebody, ladies and gentlemen.
Of course.
Audience. But yes, Vic Tayback and his pal Horace are the kidnappers. They are busy in the process of murdering somebody when they get the phone call because they've got a guy tied up, standing in a bucket of cement.
Yeah, and as always, they're a pair of mobster bad guys.
Yes.
One of them is smart and calls all the orders, and the other guy is dumb and doesn't know what goes. I don't know what's going on. You just tell me what to do, and I do it, or maybe I don't because I don't understand what's happening.
Oh, you get the classics from the Monkees, everybody. You get your comedy classics. And that poor guy is just screaming. Even though he's got like a gag on, he's just like, "Roar!" Like, honestly, I'm kind of scared for him because he's really screaming for his life. Like, it's not like, to me, it's gone past comedy. Like,
again,
he's like really
not funny, really.
Yeah, it's kind of scary.
I always hated those gags. It was always just a strip of fabric in someone's mouth, not over someone's mouth,
inside,
but that they're like biting into, and super uncomfortable. But it was always like that 100% of the time. It's weird.
Yeah, it makes it scarier.
I don't know if it was just because, like, really all you have to do is unclench your jaw and just kind of take the thing out of your mouth. And maybe it was convenient for shooting purposes rather than, like, covering somebody's mouth with duct tape or something, or doing something kidnappers might actually do, or bad guys, might
just like
but
drug
it's
them.
Comedic. It's all 100% played for comedy.
It's all for fun. These aren't real kidnapped. They're not real criminals, everybody. They're actors. It's okay.
Really?
You didn't know?
I almost bought into. Actually, not even for a second.
Okay.
It's really kind of overdone. This was a different director, right?
Yes, this was James Frawley.
I think you can tell.
You can.
I think you can tell.
He's a frequent director. I think James Frawley might have been the one that actually taught them improv before they started shooting.
Oh,
I think Frawley was like their dude, their guy.
Just seemed a little bit hyped up. More hyped up than
this episode.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is very hyper. So in getting prepared to be kidnapped, they ask, how do you dress for kidnapping?
Oh, right.
And they're told it is formal. And then somebody asks, is that white tie or black tie? And Trump checks his notes, and it's black tie.
For a kidnapping?
Yeah.
What, before 5 o'clock?
It's black tie.
Okay.
I enjoy that.
I enjoyed the joke where, well, this comes later, I think, when they've actually tied up and kidnapped all the monkeys, but one of them is the mannequin from the monkey pad. Yes. And smart mobster guy says, well, you got a dummy there. And he says, sorry, I thought he looked a little wooden. And then he reaches for Peter.
Oh, no, not Peter.
No, you didn't.
Burn.
Oh, we get it. Peter's wooden. He has a wooden look.
Oh, poor Peter. So they're dressed formally for the kidnapping.
Sure.
And then Davy has taken off with his girlfriend to go to Vincent Van Gogh.
Oh, because it's Davy.
Davy, come on, they committed to this kidnapping. Why did you go out on a date? And the other guys are fine with it. They don't seem to care. They're like, oh yeah, Davy's at Vincent Van Gogh with his girlfriend. I'm not okay with that. Davy, you're here for a kidnapping.
Very irresponsible of him.
Yeah. I'm very disappointed with Davy and his,
keep your pants on for 5 minutes. Come on, Davy.
Get it together. And his red tuxedo jacket. I do like his brocade.
Oh boy,
tuxedo jacket. Did you notice how everybody's tuxedo was like a little tailored, just a little bit to their own little style?
Yeah, not bad.
Mike's had like kind of like a country western tailoring.
Of course, because he's Mike.
Yeah, I love it. So the kidnappers go. Oh no, the dumb kidnapper Vic Tayback goes to. Just Vic Tayback goes to get Davy. Being taught to dance first by the smart kidnapper.
Oh, right. Of course.
And then we have a Cassius Clay joke, which is fun.
Wow. Yeah, because they're practicing their dance moves, and it says what? Cassius Clay,
look out. Yeah, because it took me a while to figure this out. It's because Vic Tayback is dancing with fists,
right?
Mainly. And this really, honestly, when I say it took me a while, it took me years to get this joke. I did not get it at first. So he's dancing with his fists.
Well, of course, because, and before he changed his name to Muhammad Ali, of course, right. Was Cassius Clay. He floated like a butterfly and he stung like a bee.
Right. So I just enjoy the Cassius Clay reference. And you know what? There's another Cassius Clay reference, possibly in season 2. He
was super famous. Yeah, at the time when he met the Beatles and they had photos taken with him, it was a huge deal. Yeah.
When did that happen?
There's photos of him with the Beatles. Wow. I think there's photos of him like picking Ringo up off the floor or something. Yeah,
that's delightful.
Pretty funny. Yeah.
Oh, I love that. Yeah, there's like a Cassius Clay character in one of the latest episodes, which again, as a kid, I did not get. I'm like, why is this young black boxer guy rhyming all of his lines? I don't understand what's happening. And now, Cassius Clay.
Sure.
So go pick up Davy. And the girlfriend's like, where are you going? Oh, I'm going to get kidnapped. I want to come. Davy's like, sure, because Davy's a nice guy. Yeah, Davy's like, sure, you can come be kidnapped with me, baby. Come on.
And then hilariously, she says, come on, everybody. We've all been invited to
party at Davy's.
Of course, that means everybody goes.
Everybody goes.
Oh, wait. When does Davy say, because I wrote this down, he said, I can empty the place.
Oh, that's
and he goes to the jukebox and puts on some old timey jazz, and everybody runs out.
Everybody runs screaming.
Because that's the worst music of all time, of course.
Yes, terrible. Nobody likes that. So everybody from the club shows up at their place at the pad. Fortunately, the pad is huge,
of course,
so they can fit everybody.
It's a TV set.
Yes, it's a beach house.
It's quite large.
Again, the Monkees.
Is that why they're always on the beach?
Yes, that house is on the beach.
Okay. That makes more sense.
Are on a beach house. That beach house is beautiful and huge because it has an upstairs and a downstairs, and that beautiful patio. And they have stairs that go down to the.
I wonder
beach.
If that was a real place.
I think it. Well, the exterior is a real place. Duh. I mean,
sure.
Yeah,
that's a set on the inside for sure.
I'm sure that's a set. But
no, I was just wondering, is somebody on the internet? I'm sure there's a Monkees nerd somewhere who's logged all the locations.
Oh, that would be coolcherry.com.
Oh, okay. So if
site.
I want to know exactly what beach they're on,
there's a map.
Okay,
yeah, cool. You can go like in the opening where they drive past like that store, the shopping bag. I've like looked up what street where did the shopping bag used to be, and I found I can't remember off the top of my head, but like what street that is where they're driving the Monkey Mobile down. I'm like, I'm gonna go there. I haven't done it.
I'm not like a big location nerd, but it's kind of cool, to maybe like go to a place where, I remember seeing that in that TV show or whatever. I mean, we drove by the Brady Bunch house the other night.
Oh, you did?
Just because Jen Kirkman mentioned it. And I was like, let's drive past it. Nothing to see. It's under construction and covered with, stuff.
Boo.
But yeah, it's kind of fun to look at locations.
Yeah.
Saying, they were there. I guess now I have to wonder, was the beach free? Because they sure are shooting a lot on the beach.
Probably.
Was it like free or cheap?
I figure it must have been. In the 60s,
they are charging to
go to the beach back then. It's not like...
And they're so meta. And I think that's what distinguishes this show from even shows of a similar style from this era. Batman is similar. I can't think of any off the top of my head. They were kind of like this in Batman, I guess.
Yeah, pretty much.
But this show's more meta.
Definitely.
Because Mickey has an idea. And of course, there's a cartoon light bulb over his head.
Yes.
And there's like, what's your idea, Mickey? I don't know. I can't think with this light bulb over my head. And then it disappears. Thank you, he says.
Yes.
Aw, so meta.
I love it. That's one of the things that hooked me as a small child into the show. So that happens after they get rid of all the people. Oh, again, I love the bit that like even the matron, even the staff of the Vincent Van Gogh,
of course, they show up
and they put a velvet rope over the door. Just yeah,
hilarious.
But then the waitress is there taking orders. Mm-hmm. Come on, the kitchen didn't come over.
Exactly.
What is she taking orders for?
It's just silly.
That is ridiculous. Come on,
guys.
Oop, hit the mic. James Frawley taking it too far in his direction. So to get all the people out. Oh, they're locked in the room. That's what happens. They figure out that like, these kidnappers are real. Mr. Chomp, you're a bad person, and so they get locked in the room. And then that's when Mickey has his great idea on how to get out. And then Mickey, the mad scientist.
I wrote that down.
Yeah, he pretends
Mickey, mad scientist, shows up.
And he has nitroglycerin.
He has nitroglycerin, which was a hot thing at the time. Boy, did it pop up in shows a lot. Yeah. Must have been a new, recent, exciting discovery.
I don't know. But yeah, you're right. Everything was about, vials of volatile
weird
nitroglycerin, like chemicals that can't shake it.
Better living through chemistry.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh. So they asked Mickey, what was in that vial anyway? How should I know? Toss it over shoulder. Kaboom!
Yeah.
Oh no, Mickey had real nitroglycerin. He could have killed them all. So they go to chase scene. Did I skip a chase scene? Yes, I did.
Well, it's Clarksville again.
Clarksville, yes.
Because when you got a good song,
gotta keep playing it.
Well, this one was kind of uninterrupted. I think in the last one, didn't they kind of drop a lot of sound over it? This seemed to be mostly just the song with a lot of miming and running around.
I'm not sure.
They, running around, trying to escape the bad guys. Your typical kind of maybe slightly speeded up, running around in a circle. Scooby-Doo,
Scooby-Doo chasing.
Yes, exactly. Like literally running around a park bench in a circle away from the bad guys and behind a bush.
Yes.
Who left over the bush? That was a stunt.
I really feel like that was Davy or Mickey. It could have been Davy or Mickey. I think
that was a
most
full-fledged stunt. That was astonishing.
Leaping over the bush. And then at one point they all have capes on, and then that disappears. I'm like, wait, why are they in capes?
It's a pretty standard kind of chase.
Yeah,
kind of.
It is. It's not
nothing really happens.
Yeah, it's not one of the better romps. I do kind of like the way that they insert Horace and Vic Tayback into previously shot romping. Like the boys are like in their desert. What is that? Desert army? Yeah, they're sand dune French army. What is that? Oh God, I don't know things. Like in the desert. Like the French.
Oh, okay.
Army in the desert. What is that called?
French Foreign Legion.
Yes, thank you. Foreign Legion. That's the word. They're in their French Foreign Legion costumes, and then so they show that, and then they show how they cut to Vic Tayback and Horace. Like at the bottom of a dune somewhere, shaking their fists, like, "Oh, we're gonna get you, monkeys!" I'm like, that wasn't filmed at the same time, but that's all right. So then, and
they end up,
they back at the theater where
they're performing again.
Contest.
It's the same outfits, the same backdrop, everything.
Yes, the same. Yeah,
yellow curtain
with red shirts.
Yeah,
back to Davy's torso.
And Davy's lips are moving and there's no singing happening.
Yeah, I think at some point he's going,
yeah,
like, are you singing the bass line? What is happening?
Really mismatched sound sync kind of weirdness, but
he's just having a good time.
Yeah, it's all fun, you guys.
So
and we're back at the band contest.
Yeah, back at the band contest. So then, the guy announces that we'll be right back with the results of the contest. And Peter says what he means to say is we'll be back after this commercial.
Mm-hmm.
And then they come back, and special consideration has been made for the villains. And they show like the Force Swine in jail.
What did they do?
The Force Swine didn't do anything.
Why are they in jail then?
It should be Trump. Ladies and gentlemen, it should be Trump.
This is a whole other thing. It's weird that they pin everything on the Force Swine band when they didn't do anything.
Right. They just made fun of the Monkees.
I'm confused. And then they announce, okay, so now here's the winners.
Here's the winner, and the Monkees are full of hubris. They're celebrating already.
And then it's
Lester Crabtree and the Four Crabs.
The old guys.
I love it. I do. I'm happy that the old quote unquote ugly guy gets to win at the end of the episode.
And he gets his shirt ripped off again.
He gets his clothes ripped off.
And
by
the poor
girls.
Monkees are talented, just adorable fellows. They can't even win on their own television show.
Which is one of the great things about this show is that they never make it.
Right.
The Monkees never make it. They're always struggling.
Oh, that's kind of like the Flight of the Conchords. I mean, the whole conceit
is
of
it?
that show is that they're constantly trying to succeed and failing all the time. And they're never as successful on the show as they are in real life.
That's interesting. I never watched the Flight of the Conchords. I know. I heard a gasp. Oh my gosh.
What?
I know. I'm a terrible person.
Okay, well, you're invited to be a guest on my Flight of the Conchords podcast that I'm going to start.
Oh, how exciting. Thank you. I will enjoy it.
You're welcome.
I like what we do, the Shadows show. I like that. Does that get me any credit? The vampire show.
Oh, what
I
we
like
do in the
that.
Shadows.
Yeah.
Well, those guys are awesome, and I would highly recommend Flight of the Conchords to any human being.
Okay.
Especially you.
Thank you.
I think you'd really appreciate it.
I'm sure I would. I've never heard anything bad about it.
As much as you would appreciate when the Monkees see that the old guys got their clothes ripped off and they're going to be rich and famous, they then start to rip off their own shirts.
Yay, naked monkeys.
Davey is oiled and he is tan.
He is tanned. He
was shinier than the other three. I noticed. And he was tan.
Yeah, Davey's always been tanned. Yeah, like in the very first episode, there's like shirtless Davey. I think the beginning of the first episode is like, here's shirtless Davey.
I can't believe you had topless men on television. That's shocking.
Topless men ripping each other's clothes off.
That had to be pretty edgy at the time.
Let me say it again. Men ripping each other's clothes
slash fiction is happening right now.
Nakedpersimmon.com. This is you. This is their.
I don't want to know what that is.
Oh, it's fun. It's good. It's a good fan site. I really enjoy them.
All right.
And their GIF that they constantly have up, like in the corner, is that the Monkees ripping the clothes, and that's like so that tells you what this website is about. You're like, oh, I see. We're into the Monkees ripping each other's clothes. All right, fun. Mm-hmm. It's a fun site.
Were they really a minute short, or was that just an excuse to throw in some?
No, we should have timed it. I should time it sometimes because there's other episodes that have those little interviews at the end.
Weird little, slice of life interview on the set with the guys,
the boys,
because we want to
know them.
We want to get to know them. Yeah, I guess
the real Monkees.
Right. Not fake like they are in the television show. Well, where they use all their real names.
Peter's not really dumb, though. That's the only one. Peter is the only one that gets kind of the short end of the stick with that. Everybody else is basically themselves.
Well, Mike was for sure.
Yes, Mike is definitely himself.
It's a groove, he said.
Stone groove, man.
It's a groove.
That he gets to spend money. I'm glad that he was aware that he, couldn't spend all his money. I don't know why that still makes me feel good. I'm like, yeah, you're right, Mike. You should be careful with your money.
Yeah, and I don't want to, downplay how famous they were, because they were pretty damn famous.
Right.
I mean, we're a year away from Mike Nesmith being invited in on the Sgt. Pepper sessions with the Beatles, because he was there the night they recorded The Day in the Life Orchestra, because he's in that film footage. Hanging out with John Lennon, just chatting and, smoking doobies or whatever.
They're beds.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my gosh. Can you imagine? Just say, hey, there's John Lennon and Mike Nesmith just hanging.
Mm-hmm.
That's so weird.
Chit-chatting.
Okay.
Like they were peers.
It's so weird to me. I don't know why that's so weird to me. I think it's because they're in separate categories in my head. There's like a John Lennon Beatles category, and there's like a Monkees category in my head. And they are contemporaries, but I don't think of them as contemporaries.
It is weird. It is incongruous to see John Lennon and Mike Nesmith just, hunkering, having a little chat, because you don't picture them as being on the same playing field at all.
No.
And the fact that they were friendly and like totally cool and, kind of existing in the same circles is a little weird.
Yeah.
But they were at that point in time.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to imagine it, this Beatles Monkees rivalry or something.
But Mickey wrote that song. She's a wonderful lady. I can't remember the name of the song. Oh, Randy Scouse Get. The song Randy Scouse Get is about them meeting the Beatles. Them going over.
Okay.
There's a line. The four kings of EMI are sitting stately on the floor. That's. And the title, Randy Scouse Get.
I'm nodding on a podcast.
Thank you for your affirmation.
My head is nodding up and down, so I'm narrating my actions.
I am rubbing my
I
eye.
have heard that song title, but
Yes.
I don't know if I've heard the song in a while. That's for sure.
Yeah, but the title was banned in England, of course, because you cannot. Us Americans, Randy Scouse Gid. That's a crazy name for a song. We don't know what it means.
Mm-hmm.
And then the Brits do, and they're like, "No, you can't call it that."
Very insulting.
And you know what? You know what he ended up calling it?
No.
Alternate title.
Ah,
That's the name of the song, I believe.
oh, that's so.
I
Mike.
believe it's alternate title. Oh, that's Mickey. That's Mickey's song.
That's my catchphrase. I keep saying.
Oh,
that's so
Mike.
Mike. Oh, that's so Peter.
Oh, that's so. All
That's
right.
so Davy.
So yeah, anything else that happened in that little interview at the end? Oh yeah, Peter says the universe is permeated with the odor of turpentine. Oh, okay.
Yeah. What's the deal on that?
Okay, so there was a lot of edited stuff in that interview. There's lots of like really non sequitur things happening. That was Peter's way of saying like something stinks. That was his overeducated, unnecessary way of saying that something stinks. He would say the universe is permeated with the odor of turpentine.
Okay.
All right, sure, babe. Thanks.
All right.
Notice Mickey doing absolutely nothing in that interview, just reading the script.
Wow.
I believe
Did Davy say anything?
he hates these interviews.
Oh.
I think he said so in one of them. And when you go back and watch it, you're like, yeah, Mickey is not having a good time.
He's like, no, just give us a script and let us be funny.
Yeah, I'll do the lines. Yeah, what is Davy makes a wacky face at one point? I don't think he really says anything. Oh, not to the end when they say, okay, you have a minute left to tell America everything that's on your mind.
Right.
And then it becomes wacky times for three of the gentlemen. And they're just saying, bleep, 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 bleep. But then here comes Mike with the kicker. What does Mike say, Lee?
He says something about the problem is a minute is too much time for us to speak what's on our mind. Something like
Yes.
that.
Credits.
Yeah.
Woo! That's the closer. Mike is the closer. I love it. It's so good. So much smarter than the rest of them, I think. I kind of feel bad for them every time I watch that. I'm like, oh, they think the joke is that they're going to say nonsense. No, Mike has the joke.
He's deep. He's a deep river.
He's got the joke. Oh, gosh. I tried to put my glasses back on and I just
Not with headphones, you won't.
poked my headphones. Okay. Yeah. All right. Some physical comedy going on, everybody, while I...
No, you're not doing anything like, you're just chit-chatting. You're not rating these episodes or like, assigning them value or anything, are you?
No, not really.
Okay.
Just talking about how weird it is that, there's like a Chinese theater joke,
We couldn't afford the real Chinese theater, so we just...
So we will mock another ethnicity. Why not? What? So
it wasn't that bad.
No, it wasn't. But it was still just like a little... you just give a little awkward.
There was a slight diverse representation in the club scene.
Yes. And again, Blu-ray, high definition. I can see like there's a black girl in the back in a yellow dress who's dancing. And then she's like visibly irritated when like Horace walks in front of her. She's like, get out of She flips her hair a little bit.
You're messing with my groove.
Get it. Go, acting lady. A couple of their friends are in this episode. There's a couple of like background actors that you see over and over again through the episode.
Oh, okay.
Show up in that party scene. Like,
of course.
I used to actually know their names and I can't. Oh, wait. David Pearl, I think, is one of them. The guy in the striped shirt shows up repeatedly in that party scene. And Skinny Dude, I don't know his name, but there's Skinny Dude shows up. And Skinny Dude has a great moment in the last episode or next to last episode of the series. And the Davy's girlfriend. I think she was the one that they were supposed to be rescuing from a fire in the previous episode's romp when they were going through all the different jobs. Oh. Because fireman was one of their jobs that they were doing. And there's like a girl like waving her arms. And I'm like, I think that's the same girl. Anyway.
Could be.
Not very exciting.
Oh, well.
But something I noticed.
Something to look for.
Look for Davy's girlfriend. All right, my glasses are super crooked. All right, so, any favorite performances from not the main cast?
Well,
it's not going to be Trump, is it?
Not, no, it just didn't quite hit the height of the last one. It's maybe just a little too muggy overall. But everybody does the best they can. And of course, the Monkees are, they're kind of letting everybody else do the cartoony stuff. And they're there with the ha-ha, with the little wink and the smile. And we know what's going on. And the dry take to camera or, whatever. It's really just everybody's dancing around them, making them look good. And that's what it's about, right?
Yeah, literally. In one scene where everybody's dancing, Mike is just standing there in the corner. Like, Mike, everyone's dancing.
You can never accuse Mike Nesmith of trying too hard.
Yeah.
He's really just, no, I'm going to give it my straight face like I always do, and I'm going to underplay this reaction, and
yeah,
because I'm Mike.
Yeah, Mike's standing in the corner. That's disappointing me. Again, my favorite is the little boy outside the Chinese theater who hits Peter on the head with his autograph book. I don't know why that boy delights me so, but he does.
Good moment.
I also really like the little calling up the kidnappers bit that Mike and Mickey have.
Oh yeah, on the dual phones.
Yeah, being on the phones,
with the mirrors and stuff.
Yeah, that after Christmas. No, it's their busy season, but then after Christmas, it's returns.
It's a little chance for them to do some character work.
Mickey's characters.
Yeah, Mickey's doing a nice receptionist character.
Yeah, it's adorable. I love it. Oh, and they almost throw Peter out a window. That's fun.
Yeah, because he's a piece of wood. But that would be insensitive because there might be somebody below and he would fall on them and hurt them.
Thanks, Davey.
Thanks for pretending not to care about your dear friend Peter and bandmate.
Just throw him out the window, everybody. And they rip up his sheets. His sheets are pink. Did you notice his sheets are pink?
Yeah.
Because I always thought they were white. And then I was like, those are pink sheets.
Oh, okay. Hey, it's the 60s, man.
Anything goes.
Colors.
And that was a nice transition, actually, because they cut to the next scene and it's just the sheet and then Mickey's ripping it in half. And I thought to myself, oh, that's a cute way to go from scene to scene. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Just an observation.
Uh-huh.
Okay, I'm getting weirder and weirder. I should wrap it up.
All right.
All right. So, Lee, did I already ask you how we can contact you
on the last episode?
Oh, okay, but
that was so long ago. I'll mention it again. That my name is Lee Quick, and that's Lee, in case you were wondering. And LeeQuick.com, and various internet portals. But I do have original music for purchase,
and it is beautiful
on Bandcamp, like a lot of poor independent musicians do. Largely self-produced, self-recorded, self-edited. Multi-tracked, some simple folk, some good songs there. Nice. Yeah, if you feel like crying, there's a few weepy ones, and if you feel like laughing, there's a few fun and stupid ones, and sarcastic, a little bit of everything. I kind of describe my music as being kind of like the Beatles' White Album. Okay. If you don't like a song, just wait.
Okay. I was like, what? The
next song will be very different.
What if you don't know the Beatles' White Album?
It's just a little hodgepodge of just every different kind of song there is, and a lot of it's sort of very simple and acoustic based.
Oh, okay.
So kind of like that.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
You're welcome.
Okay, that's enough.
No, that's enough.
All right, so I'm gonna wrap this up now. All right, so you've been listening to the Monkees Oddcast. Subscribe and leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts. You can find us on all social media at Monkees Podcast. That's MonkeesPadcast. Support the show by getting official podcast merch at dragonwagonshop.com.
Okay, I will.
Thanks, Lee. All right, I think that's going to do it for us. Thank you, everybody. Bye. Say bye.
Bye.
Was the name signed to the world's most famous plays and poems a pseudonym? Was the man from Stratford that history attributed the works to even capable of writing them? Who was Edward de Vere, 17th Earl of Oxford, and is there any chance he was the actual author of those legendary works? Who was the writer behind the pen name William Shakespeare? Join me, Stephen Sable, as me and my fellow Oxfordians set out to answer all of those questions and many more on Don't Quill the Messenger, Revealing the Truth of Shakespeare Authorship, found right here on Dragon Wagon Radio or wherever podcasts are found.
It's Dragon Wagon.